We looked all over for the right elementary school to film in. It was tough to find one because it was very specific. We had to have a classroom that had 2 doors. That's part of the story. We also had to have windows that still open. Most schools have sealed them or air conditioning or whatever reasons, security reasons. They don't do that as much anymore. And we had to have one that had either a bathroom attached to it or just right there. Well, as we looked and looked and looked, I thought, I think that school I went to was pretty much that way. So we came back here to EM Whitesides in Layton. I came through, it had probably been 35 years since I'd been in this building. I came in the north door and started walking down, and the memories were just flooding back. Oh, I remember I beat up a guy there. Oh, I beat up a girl there. Oh, a girl beat me up over there. All these, I could just tell you so many things that I remembered about this school. I was so glad that it worked out. It's funner to be here and to have some of my family and others have come here, and then we walk around and talk about all the things that we remember. And it is very much like the Cokeville Elementary. We couldn't go to Cokeville primarily because any of you who've ever been to Cokeville, you know they don't have an infrastructure to bring 50 people. They don't have restaurants and hotels and what it would take. While we're here at the school, because it involves the whole elementary school, we have typically about 50 people in the cast every day. The crew is between 25 and 30 every day. So we're lugging around now about 80 people. It gets to be a pretty big circus, you know, kind of running around with all these people. But if we were going to tell this story, I don't know how else to do it. You have to have all of that. You can't pick up a paper or see the news for more than a week anymore without something similar to this having happened, usually in our country. The Cokeville bombing was really the first time this kind of thing happened, where a crazy person comes in with guns into it was a school situation and says, you know, I'm going to harm you. Well, I think there's relevance for our society to see how it worked out in this situation.
It was a very scary situation. This was not something that you heard about on the news all the time like you do today, about things happening in the schools. This was something totally foreign to us. When we first went into the room, we could see the guns, and in Wyoming, even up until the time I graduated high school, it wasn't uncommon to see rifles hanging in the racks in the back of pickup trucks on school grounds. That was not something that was weird. So walking into the room, seeing guns there, that really didn't click for me. It was when David pulled out his gun and pointed it at one of our teachers that we knew that this wasn't normal, things were not right. I did not have the experience of seeing angels that day. Some of my friends did, and they shared those stories, and I've never had any reason to doubt them. To me, it made sense for all of us to get out of that small of a room, and I've been back and seen it since then. It is a lot smaller than I remember. For all of us to get out of there alive, nothing short of a miracle or intervention from heavenly beings, in my opinion. When the call came out that they were asking that children of some survivors come and be extras on the film, I didn't tell my kids, hey, this is what we're doing, you don't have a choice in the matter. It was, okay, this is what happened to me, and I want you to understand what it might be like on set if this is something you choose to do. And I let the choice be up to them, and they jumped on it. They really wanted to do it.
I had no idea how truly taken over our school would be when they all came in. We had, the office was completely decentralized, so we're not in the 21st century anymore in this movie. They took all of our computers out. They took my office was taken over and made into a different office, and I worked in the activities center, which is our gym, and in the conference room when they weren't shooting in there, or in the hallway, or wherever I could find a place to be. And but they have been as gracious as possible. They always let us know when they're going to be in a space where we're working, and give us a chance to finish what we're doing, and then they set us out. We did learn that we have to be a little quieter than we usually are because every sound carries, and so we've had to learn how to just speak quietly in the office and enjoy that. But we've had fun with them. They've been great, very gracious and wonderful to work with.
My character's name is Rose Anderson, and she's based on the real teacher that was the first grade teacher who everyone was brought to her room when the hostage crisis started. All of the stories that TC tells, I think, are very interesting stories because they're true stories. And this particular true story is something that I was alive at this time. I was aware of news events, and somehow I just missed this. I didn't know what this was until I auditioned for this show or for this film. And I have a son who goes to an elementary school in the district, and they found a pipe bomb on the roof of his school just recently. I was thinking about how well that situation was handled and how easily things were just taken care of versus in this situation in the film, how there were things that we didn't know and procedures that people didn't have put in place, and there's a lot of divine intervention in what saves these kids. And we've learned a lot since then, and so we as human beings are better equipped to deal, I think, with and respond to these kinds of events now. I mean, that's the goal for sure. But it's really inspiring to see how, with no forethinking on their part about what they could do to prevent or help protect in situations like this, I mean, it's just what can happen from faith. I think that's really inspiring.